Just kidding, it's me. So I've started making some Pikachu armor. So far I've only made the helmet because I'm going to need help from you about what to do for the rest of it. That'll be at the end of the video. Right now, let's talk about how I made this mother effer. So the basic idea of this helmet I got from another video made by a friend of mine. He's called Let's Make Stuff. That will open in a new tab if you click it, or there's a link in the description. Anyway, the first thing I did was get the template, put it on some foam and cut it all out. Now I wasn't being super careful with my cutting because I want the mask in the end to have a really old, worn down look, and if the edges don't match up properly, that's actually good for me. If you want something that doesn't look old though, I'd probably use a scalpel or something. I also just freehanded some ears out of the scrap foam left over from the helmet template. Once it's all cut out, you want to stick it together with some contact bond. Glue will not work, you need contact bond. After that, you coat everything in some kind of sealant. I just use PVA glue, and if you're wondering if I was meant to spill the glue on the floor like that, I wasn't. Here's proof.
Ah, you fucking bitch.
Anyway, when all the glue dried, I gave everything a very rough coat of white spray paint just as a base, and when that had dried, I started putting on yellow. Now, even though I wanted the paint job not to be amazing, because again, I'm going for that old, worn look, that still needed like a freak load of coats of paint. When I say freak load, like 5. The next thing I did was punch a circle in a bit of cardboard, which I used as a stencil for the bright red cheeks of the mask that Pikachu has. Again, I didn't want a perfect circle, so I was very rough with everything. It had a bit of drip down. I actually kept that because it looked kind of cool. After the yellow was done, I started adding detail with black acrylic paint. So I started with the top of the ears. From then I moved on to the inside of the eye sockets and some of the joining lines of the helmet. Again, I wasn't being careful. I mean, I didn't have a blindfold and just wasn't like swinging my arms around, but I wasn't careful. If I went off the side, that's good. Now to make the eyes look cooler, I got a pair of sunglasses, ripped the lenses out, and just stuck them in with duct tape. Not the most technologically advanced way, but it worked and cost me nothing. And then the very last thing I did was paint on a nose. And the reason I did that last is because I wasn't planning on doing it, and then right at the end I thought, I'm gonna put a nose on, so I did. Now the reason I've only done the helmet is because I'm not quite sure what I want to do with this costume. That's why I need your help. I've got 2 options I could go with. The first one is kind of a Pikachu Red Hood mashup. Here's some rough sketches I've done of what it might look like. That's option 1. Option 2 is to make kind of a medieval suit of armor. I haven't done any sketches of that yet, but imagine in your head a really cool sketch of it. That's what it will look like. Jump in the comments and let me know which you prefer. Also, if you have any other questions that I skipped over in this tutorial, you can ask them down there. I'm gonna leave you with some tutorials for some other costumes I've made. See ya!